Oke, sip.
Oke, silakan Pak Rizal, Pak Zulkifli.
Oke, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please, because our session of international colloquium will be begin, and thank you very much for preparing yourself to join our international colloquium. The first, I would like to say that respectable to Dr. Ismail Suardiweke as the Indonesian University Consortium on Social Religious Studies, and the honorable to the speaker, Prof. Dr. Onder from Necmettin Erbakan University, Turkey. And also we have Bapak Jelang Ramadan from Bersau Uldek University. And ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself. I am Zulkifli Surahmat as the moderator today of the tonight panel session, and I'm very pleased to see you. And tonight we have fourth speaker to will speak about social religious studies. And the first speaker, we have Professor Dr. Onder from Necmettin Erbakan University, and we have also the speaker Arif Saidiman from Necmettin Erbakan University, and we have also Mr. Jelang Ramadan from Bersau Uldek University, and we have the fourth speaker about Bapak Ismawan Amir from the Istanbul Tikaret University, Turkey. And we can't wait to hear the presentation from all of the speaker. And tonight, let me welcome to the first speaker, Bapak Prof. Dr. Onder Necmettin from Necmettin Erbakan University. Good evening, Prof.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you very much.
And I will give you a chance to give the idea about Islamic religious and social culture and
Okay, thank you very much for inviting me to join this colloquium about to explore the possibilities of collaborative research. Therefore, I am very glad to address today. First of all, I mean, it's quite convenient to talk about the subjects which attract our interest, common interest. Therefore, thank you very much again, brother Dr. Ismail Suardiweke, to invite for this program. I mean, it's about the possibility of research or collaborative research between different universities, different countries. I'm going to highlight a few issues related to obtain especially financial support from Turkish resources, and as well as some international aspects. If you just one moment, if I can have the opportunity to share my screen, if you please allow me to, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Go ahead, Prof.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks a lot. As the moderator, introduced me, I'm the professor of politics and public administration at Necmettin Erbakan University, and I have had the opportunity to complete my postgraduate studies in England, and my BA degree from Ankara University, Faculty of Political Science. My interest is about politics and public administration, but I also studied during my PhD thesis and afterwards some comparative studies involving Turkish and British civil services and political systems. So afterwards, I had also I had the opportunity to lead the international team at Selçuk University, again in Konya. I was Erasmus program coordinator at the university, and also the coordinator of international relations at that university. During that time, I carried out several projects in Konya, and obtained support, financial support from European Union, from UNDP, United Nations Development Program, United Nations, and European Council, and also from British Council. I was a part of a group to study education at that time, inclusive education. Therefore, it's quite important to obtain especially financial resources from different countries, maybe from different institutions. So therefore, funding is quite important. There are lots of opportunities provided, to provide funding for research. European Union is the first and maybe most important source, and United Nations Development Program, European Council, and also recently, Organization of Islamic Cooperation has been able to provide funding for the research, especially from Islamic countries, from Indonesia, from Turkey. And as I am going to highlight a few issues, they are ready to fund, but they need they ask some extra securities. One of my PhD students he is also my close friend of mine from Ankara University during the 1980s, from my BA studies, BA degrees. He is the Deputy Director General of OIC at the moment, staying in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, and also I have contacts with him, and as I mentioned, they have been providing financial support for the projects which are submitted from Islamic countries. Therefore, we need to explore, especially this source, to provide, at least some financial initiatives and incentives to facilitate our researches. Secondly, we have also the Scientific and Technological Research Council of Turkiye. I copied the web address of the institution. For example, these are open for international. This is the website, and there are. You can see for example, the funds, national programs, as well as international programs and international researchers programs and international programs. All these programs, they have very huge financial resources to facilitate collaborative research, especially, for example, the programs, the cost actions. Some of you may be aware of these programs, Horizons Europe program and cost actions, and also the program 1071 program is to facilitate joint research programs. Therefore, as I am going to highlight a few of the issues, we need to have concrete project proposal to apply for these fundings, because the TÜBİTAK, the funding authority, is a sister organization of European Union, some European Union programs and international programs. They have similar application procedures and programs to facilitate and to fund research programs. These programs might include, for example, some travel expenses and also some research costs. Therefore, all these programs, I'm not going to go through. For example, 1071 is quite. I'm also a member of the reviewers board in this Scientific and Technological Research Council of Turkey. I'm a part of. I'm in review board of the institution, and also sometimes we review the project proposals from Turkish resources and from international aspects. Secondly, for example, some of you might be aware of this Horizon program and cost actions, and also international researchers fellowship programs. These are 2221. This is the name of the program. Is to support academics who are who would like to study in Turkey, and also to complete their research programs abroad. So, and academics, business, industry, public institutions, I mean, they can all support. They can all obtain support from these sources. And also, for example, for the business and industry, they have also some programs. If some of the colleagues, they have some ties with Indonesian authorities or some business organizations, they can also take a part of this program. Okay. Moving on or turning on to the European aspects, as many of you are aware, there is the Erasmus program Erasmus Plus activities, and this is the national agency of Turkey to implement Erasmus Plus program in the country. This program also provides some support for those who are abroad to study or to conduct their researches with or within the country, with some colleagues in Turkey, and also to implement their activities. This also includes staff exchange, etc., etc. So another opportunity is especially for young scholars, junior scholars, if they would like to take a Turkish scholarships. That's the program by Turkish government, and they can support postgraduate degrees, and also just one moment, please, just to change it to yeah. Where is it? There was a English version of the page. Just one moment. Anyway, I mean, this is the program, and also this is to support master degrees or PhDs to be conducted in Turkey. So this is also an opportunity. There is also some funding opportunities, especially provided by Turkish government. This is the institution. This is the institution named Turks abroad, and also ancestor communities. This is the institution for also ancestor communities, Indonesia, Malaysia, or some other countries. People, researchers from these nations, especially in Balkan countries, Middle Eastern countries, and Islamic countries, they can also obtain support from this source. So again, there are some development agencies, regional development agencies in the country, in Turkey, 27 development agencies. They are to provide financial support for the institutions and for the researchers who can conduct a collaborative research, especially, I mean, Indonesian universities, Indonesian institutions are quite most welcomed. This is also an opportunity. There are also some possibilities from university research funds because in every university, it has to have a kind of research, scientific research funding, especially for the universities which have medical schools and hospitals. They are most fortunate, they are lucky because they have, it means that they have a bigger budgets, bigger allowances for these activities. And also, I mean, I'm talking about in general terms, but multi or interdisciplinary projects are especially encouraged. And also there is the possibility of exchanging student and staff. Of course, you need to apply through the process, but research papers, research projects are also supported by the funding authorities. And also, this also includes, especially Erasmus Plus program, includes short-term exchanges for the students, for example, 2 months, 3 months, as well as for the teaching staff exchange. These are also supported by Turkish National Agency, for example, from Erasmus Plus program. Therefore, especially for the young scholars, important thing is to have a sound project proposal. And I included the definition of project. I mean, all of us are aware of what the project is, the meaning is, but I included here an individual or collaborative enterprise that is carefully planned to achieve a particular aim. Therefore, you need to have partners, you need to find a reliable funding authority, and then you can go through. Especially for the young scholars, there is a very quite useful source in internet what the project cycle management is. This is 168 pages, I mean, document, especially because for myself, I carried out several research programs, a very huge budgets from European Union, from European Commission. Therefore, they have a detailed research project proposal. So, I mean, in between 2008 and 2012, for 5 years, we were a part of a team. We had some, professors from England, Canterbury Christchurch University, from Dublin, from Ireland, from Norway, University of Oslo, from Spain, University of Murcia, and we were a part of the project team at that time, and we were fortunate to experience, especially a British Council requirements for the project proposal, and also European Union proposals. So we were able to take 15 to 20 students, postgraduate students, every year during summer, 2-3 weeks time. We went to, for example, Dublin, or we went to Oslo, and we had very good opportunity. Altogether, there were about 100 postgraduate students, as well as 30 teaching staff and researchers. It was very good opportunity for myself and for my university to take a part, active part in the program. Therefore, we need to, what I would like to stress is that we need to find long-term research proposals, long-term research projects to go into details, and every one of the partner is responsible for carrying out some activities. And also we should also find opportunity to get young scholars involved, especially junior scholars involved in collaborative research activities. Otherwise, if it is only 1 year, for example, you go and finish and that's all. So if you go into details and if you go, of course, we should have a kind of, as I also mentioned here, a project mind. We can provide books, international books to be published by international, very famous, publishing houses. We can provide articles to be published in highly cited, highly respectable journals. Therefore, we should find a kind of common ground to explore, to go into details. Otherwise, every year, very shallow, very narrow programs, they wouldn't help to reach our goals. So we need to think, we need to pay some attention, we need to spend some time to go into details. My presentation is quite short, therefore I think this is the end of my presentation. If you have questions, or if you have a kind of suggestions, etc., I will be happy to talk in details. For the time being, thank you very much.
Okay. A great explanation from Prof. Dr. Onder. So many information that we get it from this explanation. Great explanation that we hear from Prof. Dr. Onder that we have get many information from this explanation. Thank you so much, Prof. From the great explanation that if I can highlight it, that Prof. Dr. Onder that explained that the collaborative research on a different university, that what we have, the first that we have to do is the funding, and Prof already explained to us about some fundings that we can get from the university, from example, that international funds, Research Council of Turkey, Erasmus Plus activities, and national funds, for example, Turkey scholarship, and regional funds that Prof that already explained to us about some fundings that we can get if we are going to make a collaborative research. And apalagi yang harus kita dapatkan, what next that we have to do is we have to have concrete proposal. This is the very important thing that we have to do, is we have a concrete proposal. And the next explanation from Prof. Dr. Onder that what we need from For example, for me, for the young scholars, the first is we have to have a sound project proposal. And the next, we have to have partner and reliable funding authority. And the most important, that we have to have project cycle management. So it is kind of the interesting thing that we have to discuss. And this is highly important that for us for strengthening research and networking. And it's time for us to make a collaborative research. Before I going to give the question for the other participants, ada yang ingin bertanya, the other participants? Okay, I give chance to Mr. Arif Isdiman Saleh. Floor for you, sir. Waktu dan tempat disilahkan.
Thank you for the opportunities given to me to respond the explanation from Professor Dr. Onder Kutlu. Professor Onder Kutlu's explanation about maybe the corporate academic cooperation opportunities in Turkey is quite clear. Even when I have to apply preliminary literature studies, Turkey and Indonesia is actually have a strategic role, strategic position when Indonesia perceives Turkey as a door to Central Asia, Eastern Europe, especially Balkans, and some of Middle East. And then for Turkey, Indonesia is the main gate for some parts of East Asia and especially Southeast Asia, in particular ASEAN countries. However, despite of this wide and broad opportunities, I have currently went to Yogyakarta and meet several researchers in Muhammadiyah University of Yogyakarta. Actually, Turkey, in particular, some Turkey-based universities are open to us. However, in some cases, especially when the MOU or sometimes MOU and MOA is maybe implemented into action, sometimes the Turkey's bureaucracy are very, very complicated to solve. Therefore, I would like also to ask Professor Onder Kutlu on this occasion, for Indonesian researchers and maybe let's say for institutions, especially higher education institutions, in terms of complicated bureaucracies in Turkey's universities and maybe government agencies, what are the steps that we have to prepare, and how should we do it in order to solve the bureaucracies? Because according to my conversation with one of the researchers, they complain about the transfer of the preliminary data that have to research in Turkey. Maybe they, for example, they need the preliminary research data from research. However, they will give it for several days later due to several reasons. Besides of that question, in conclusion, Turkey is very open to all Indonesian higher institutions or even the students who want to doing the research and maybe some academic cooperations, either with fellow students, either with fellow lecturer, or even between the higher education institutions. However, there are some issues that should be solved together, especially the difference of culture, then the difference of bureaucracy system, and the mutual understanding. Thank you for my info, some English info. Thank you, and I will give it back to the moderator.
Okay, that is the nice explanation from the Pak Arif Istiman Saleh, talking about the specific thing that the step that we have to do in, for example, some researchers in university. What is the step to do that in combining to another university? But maybe we have we keep the question. Kita simpan dulu pertanyaannya. So, sorry Pak Arif, we keep the question. We give to the next speaker, Mr. Jelang Ramadan. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. I actually would like to say my very honest greetings to our professor Onder Kutlu. Hocam, merhaba hocam, nasılsınız?
Merhaba, teşekkür ederim. Allah razı
It's
olsun.
been a long time, not really a long time, maybe almost a year. I have not seen Professor Onder. Now I can see from the Zoom, and it so makes my heart grateful. And I would like to express my gratitude to Professor Ismail as well to have us here and make us to this conversation be able and be exist in our discourse. About the collaborative research that I want to bring is actually how the discourse and the interest, especially public interest between two nations among Turks and also Indonesian, can be bridged, especially in terms of common interest, whether it's based on the religion or culture or social or even economics or even the security. So last time I have did my research with one of the most prominent think tank in Turkey. They call it SETA, SETA Wakfu or SETA Foundation. They exactly have the concern about the Islamophobia phenomena in the world, which is actually Indonesia has the same concern, supposed to have the same concern, and Turkey is not only concerned about this, but doing a lot to make this discourse up in the air, up in the global discourse. They made a lot of symposium, international conference, colloquium, and other things, and also call for papers, research. They even invite international researchers renowned to make a international conference about Islamophobia, which is they are really concerned about. It also turned becoming one of the utterance or rhetorics of the President Erdogan as well, since Turkey has a lot of Muslim, or they're populated by majority Muslim, like 98 or 99%. It's supposed to be become Indonesian concern as well, but it's still we may concern about it, but we don't put much effort on it. So we need to bridge this kind of interest in the public or in the academic discourse. And one thing that I maybe want to exactly, or I can be frank about this, that universities need to put some amount of funding to make the research come true. So we only can talk about, okay, let's do this research and so other and so on. But if we don't have money, if the university doesn't put anything on the pocket, the research won't go anywhere. So my concern is also about how to fund the research which bridge the public interest. Because if we talk about Indonesian, a lot of Indonesian are Muslim as well. It's like 88 or 87%. It's the biggest, the most populated Muslim countries in the world. But why we don't have the same common sense with Turkey as well? Or Turkey can lead us or can show us the way how to do the research. That's the first thing that I want to bring to this discussion. And the second thing is actually in terms of the scholarship, I can testify that Turkey is one of the most generous country in the world, which is they have a lot of scheme of scholarship. And actually Indonesia is not losing about it because LPDP, the fund endowment, the education endowment from the finance ministry are also one of the most generous scholarship in the world. We have also like a KND atau beasiswa kerjasama negara berkembang, and some institution, universities are offer the scholarship as well. But one thing that we may kind of one step behind the Turkey is how to manage the scholarship nationwidely, because the distribution of foreign students or the distribution of the scholarship somehow still unequal. But in Turkey, when a foreign student awarded by the government scholarship, they can be stay in the very core in the southeastern Turkey, whether in the western and the north western maybe, and also in the Anadolu or in the center of Turkey. So the government makes sure that the distribution of foreign students for the scholarship is equal to all the universities, even to the private one. That's two things that I want to bring. So maybe whether Prof. Onder can make a suggestion about this, and also maybe how we can make this first concern of the public interest about the research, and also how we manage the scholarship itself to make this very beneficial for everyone. Thank you. I think that's all. I give it back to moderator, Pak Zulkifli.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nice explanation about how university have to prepare the funding about the collaborative research. And next we have next speaker, Mr. Arif Isliman Saleh. Floor is yours, sir.
Actually, thank you for giving the opportunity once again. I agree with what my fellows Jelang Ramadan said, that Islamophobia and related issues are the important issues both in Turkey and Indonesia, as both of countries have a similar maybe experience of discrimination against Muslim. If we read about the culture, especially the cultures of Indonesians during the colonization of Dutch in Indonesia, there are several colonialism policies that put the harm into the life of Muslims. For example, if we read more about Muhammad history, we may have about the Guru Ordonanti or teacher ordinance, which give a limit for Islamic teacher to give education for the students. But in fact, the Guru Ordinance policy give a pave way for Dutch colonial government to pass Islamic communities into the limit by giving some subsidization for missionaries manage educational institutions or schools. Whilst Muhammadiyah in the story, we got maybe some funds or help some funds from government to run for the schools. Even the funds from the government are cut in until 50%, that it will incite the harsh reaction from the board of Muhammadiyah. And finally the policy is ended. However, several Muslim scholars maybe in their identity described himself as Muslim toward Islam are still in negative way. So maybe the same experience we might be also experienced by Turkey, so that the research in such kind of field are very important, I think. And also in the other field is also important, especially in maybe in the field of defense industry, as Turkey and Indonesia have some bitter experience, in particular with the embargo. As we had seen, Indonesia and Turkey has experience of got some embargoes from Western countries, especially the USA, during the East Timor and Cyprus and the crisis of Cyprus. And then both Indonesia and Turkey had, in order to face the challenges of security and etc., decide how to become more self-reliant in terms of defense studies. Then we have to see in this time, the Turkey is getting more advanced in maybe defense industries by even become a leading actor by the massive production of UAVs, while Indonesia, despite of having the same start with Turkey, the development of defense industry in Indonesia, in my opinion, is very stagnant. But at the same time, we have some challenge with the rising of China and several disputes in our geopolitical environment. Then the other sectors that are important is defense-related science, so that it will help us to develop our defense industries well. Thank you for the opportunities. I will give back to the moderator.
Okay. With explanation from Mr. Arif Istiman, explain about the Indonesian and Turkish with the same experience, and she also explained us from about the fact of colonialism in Indonesia, and the same thing that we have many experience with Turkish and both of Turkish and Indonesia. And the next we have thank you Mr. Istiman Saleh for the nice explanation. And the next we have Ismawan Amir.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I would like to say thank you for our Honorable Professor Dr. Onder Kutlu. Merhaba hocam. Ama Ismawan Amir, coming from Istanbul Ticaret University in Istanbul. And the second is Professor Ismail Suardiweke. My honorable to you because inviting me join this discussion. We know that Turkey and Indonesia has a relationship in this era, and we get Turkey and Indonesia same group in the G20 country, G20 group. And we know that in G20 summit in Nusa Dua Bali, there are several agreement, and in the Turkey and Indonesia get cooperation coming from infrastructure, and the second from Ministry of Defense, and they also get MOU on research, technology and innovation collaboration with the head of National Research and Innovation Agency in Indonesia. As we know that the one thing in trading, Indonesia and Turkey has a good relation, and in 2021 they get $2 billion in a trade. So that's why Turkey and Indonesia right now increasing our cooperation in education. You know, as we know that in Turkey there are many university get ranking, and average Turkey-based university rank from 300 to 500 in the world. Many students from Indonesia come to Turkey be a student. There are many reasons why they choose become international student in Turkey. For the first is the affordable tuition fees. The main reason why many students from Indonesia get course in Turkey. The second is they can get various university. I mean, they can get scholarship from a government in Turkey, and also from NGO as a they can get a scholarship from NGO in Turkey. And the last is they can enjoy 4 different stations in Turkey. So that's why this is an opportunity for students from Indonesia to enjoy or to continue their study in Turkey. I think that's all for me. Only highlight some reason and agreement Indonesia and Turkey at the time in Nusa Dua Bali. That's all for me. I giving back to moderator. Thank you. I put back to moderator.
It seems that, okay.
I'm so sorry because my signal is unstable, sir.
Okay. I give one of the last my presentation is about the main reason why many international students from Indonesia continue their study in Turkey. As we know that they can provide tuition fees with estimate range from 1 million to 5 million per year. And also students from Indonesia can get many scholarships from government and NGO in Turkey. And the last is they can enjoy for different seasons by studying in Turkey. So they can enjoy for different season every year, contrast the season in Indonesia. We have also 2 seasons in Indonesia. That's all for me. Maybe we can collaborate in the next week. I giving back to moderator. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for the nice explanation, sir. Bapak Ismawan Amir explain for us about the relationship with both Turkey and Indonesia, and also give for us some information about many Indonesian students who study in Turkey become international student. So this opportunity we have to take as a student. And maybe the first speaker has speak about their opinion and their material about the collaborative research, and maybe some participant wants to ask a question. Maybe you can raise your hand. Is there any some participant want to ask questions? Okay. Maybe we have one question for the first question just now from Mr. Arif Isdiman. Maybe we give to Prof. Dr. Under Kutlu to answer the question. The floor is yours, Prof.
Okay, thank you very much. I think Arif asked about the bureaucracy in Turkey.
Yes.
If I am not mistaken. The thing is, I mean, in all higher education institutions, all the universities are subject to the supervision and the control of a central organization named Turkish Higher Education Council. I mean, the institution is given a role by the Constitution to supervise all the universities in the country, because universities can only be established by the state. Even though we have some foundation universities, what we call is foundation universities, they have every one of them. I mean, they are not private universities, they are foundation universities, but their rectors are appointed and the deans of faculties are appointed by the, rectors are appointed by the president, and the deans are appointed by higher education institution, higher education council. Therefore, we have a highly centralized higher education structure in the country. Therefore, we have also a bureaucracy minded approach to every public issue, because Turkey is a part of a continental law system. Therefore, we are completely different from Anglo-Saxon, Anglo-American experience. Therefore, bureaucracy is a part of the national character, unfortunately, because sometimes too much bureaucracy, too much rules and regulations, they cause a kind of problems in the public sphere. This is the issue. But the good thing is that all the institutions, higher education institutions, universities, they are at least supervised and controlled by a central authority. Therefore, they are to make sure that we have also, for example, we have Turkish Higher Education Quality Council. It is also a legal institution, a central institution, and it is to make sure that each and every higher education institution, every university, makes sure that quality assurance is a part of their culture. So sometimes we complain about too much bureaucracy, but to tell the truth, having seen so many universities and so many nations in different countries, even though we have a highly centralized structure and too much bureaucracy, at least it is to make sure that the things are implemented according to the quality subjects, according to the rules and regulations. I think that's my answer. Thank you very much.
Prof. Dr. Onder, thank you for the answer. So, Professor explained about the bureaucracy in Turkey, and how about Mr. Arif Istiman or the other participants want to give explanation or the question?
I would like to give some question to Professor.
Okay, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very much for Zulkifli Surahmat for giving me time to give some question to Professor Dr. Onder Kutlu. We know that Turkey will hold critical election in May. I think 2 months later, they get election in May, inshallah. Perhaps for the significant for higher education in Turkey. What is the effect of the election for the significant higher education in Turkey after election? Could you explain to us? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Universities are independent, autonomous organizations in the country, but rectors are appointed, as I already mentioned, by the president, and the deans are appointed by Higher Education Council. Therefore, universities, regardless of who is going to win in the election, universities will carry on. There will be no significant changes in the universities. But university, if anyhow the president, is changed, somebody else is to replace President Erdogan. I mean, all the rectors and all the deans. I think many of them are replaced with somebody else. But I mean, for the teaching staff, for the research, for the academic and teaching activities, I don't think there is going to be any kind of significant change. But as you mentioned, it's quite important election in 2 months' time, exactly 14th of May. 2 months later, we are going to have very important election. According to the public opinion surveys, I mean, President Erdogan is going to be re-elected, in my view. But you never know because it's a democratic race. Therefore, if the public, if the people, they would like to try somebody else, that is, I mean, we don't know the outcome. But the tension is very high at the moment in the country. You also experience the tension. Therefore, we pray to have stability in the country, in politics, in the public life. Otherwise, I mean, we will just wait and see what's going to happen. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Hacham.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. The answer is no significant effect for the election in May, even though that rector will chosen by the president. Yeah. So, is there any questions for the participants? This evening. Yeah. We have Mr. Jalang Ramadan to give the question.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I would like to know actually from our friends in the eastern side of Indonesia, what is or what are the concerns that maybe we can build together in terms of research, especially for the public interest. So maybe our friends from maybe from Makassar or from other parts of Eastern Indonesia here who attends the colloquium tonight, maybe can share their thoughts or their mind. What is the most discussable topics for the research, maybe about the ecology, environmental, economics, mining, or whatsoever. As I have mentioned before about how Turkey brought the discourse of Islamophobia becomes one of the most or the hottest topic for the research, and also how this kind of theme in for the public in the eastern side of Indonesia, maybe they have some interest. So I put this question to the attendants, all the attendants here. Maybe someone can help me to share their concern as well. So here, like me, Bang Ismawan, and also Mas Arif can bring this interest, can bridge this interest to Turkey as well. Thank you.
The question is, what are the specific concern of research or in Indonesia? Maybe some scholar here want to answer, or maybe we give chance to Bapak Professor Dr. Ismail Suardiwaka to speak about the specific issue or the concern issue about the research in Indonesia. Indonesia. Floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Pak Zul. Actually, this colloquium, we invite friend of us, we invite Prof. Onder, we invite Jelang Ramadan, Arif, and Ismawan to identify actually what is the issues between Indonesia and Turkey. Somehow we can go and move forward in the issue of social science, for example, because since Prof. Onder expert in public administrations, and then we have another one, for example, Jelang Ramadan and Arif Isdiman Saleh, both of them are focusing on the international relations. So it might be we can identify the issue between Turkey and Southeast Asia. Yeah, so we can invite friends of us from Thailand, Malaysia, Brunei Darussalam, and Singapore to join this small group of collaborations. One more thing, with the Istanbul Ticaret University, they are focusing on the trade, they are focusing on the commercial things. So it might be we can work together with the Andaman Anatolian College in Thailand. They already perform, they already established another college, namely Andaman Anatolian. The name Andaman itself, the Sea of Andaman, and the Anatolian, it came of the support of the side of higher education in Turkey. One more thing, actually, this discussion will come up with the many things. Basically, will identify by the higher education itself, the university, the institute, or the college. One more things, actually, these conditions that this colloquium, we start in the early year in March. Hopefully we can have still time, 9 months to go and to write together the publications, and then it might be we can have another help from Prof. Onder, since he has a friend, colleague in Exeter University and in many universities in UK. So after this, maybe we can have another Zoom meeting with a friend of us from London or any universities in United Kingdom. And then somehow we have the issue of interdisciplinary. For example, environment, we can go with our expertise from public administrations, from religions, from educations, and somehow from other side. So this condition could come up with the many things, but I would like to offer the topic to friend of us. What are the topic that will come of the proposal of them. This is some words to respond the questions from my brother Jelang Ramadan. I'd like to give back this microphone to moderator.
Okay. Thanks for the explanation, Prof. And the explanation is this is the beginning of the discussion about what we are going to do and what we are going to search about in the next agenda, for example. Okay, I think we invite some participants or any response to to
Yeah, related to Brother Ismail's suggestion to organize a program, a Zoom meeting with the colleagues from the UK, we can always arrange. I mean, I need to speak to my friends, and then we can always arrange a program, a Zoom program, Zoom meeting, to discuss cooperation and collaboration possibilities, inshallah.
Okay. Yeah, that is the.
Thank you, Hocham.
That is a good point tonight that Prof. Dr. Onder Kutlu that want to invite friends of him to do Zoom meeting to discuss about next agenda in about this international colloquium. Okay, maybe next participants want to share their ideas about the research or collaborative research. Because maybe in the next agenda we have next agenda, right?
Yeah, we can finish this one. We have still more time to 10. So we can still have the discussion and some idea from a friend of us, since I think that this is a good opportunity for us to share any kind of topic. And then we already start with a good one that how is the research actually. One more thing that we have support from not only from Professor Onder, but we have a friend of us. They are studying doctorate and master right now in Turkey. So this opportunity will come up with the long relationship and communications since actually we already start the discussions and somehow the opportunity will come in the next time. One more thing that actually we have Necmettin Erbakan as the partner through Prof. Onder and Arif Isdiman Saleh is a good one that we have some kind issue like that we already through the ICMI, Ikatan Cendekiawan Muslim Indonesia, the Association of Indonesian Muslim Scholars, that we have Habibi Erbakan program, yeah, Habibi Erbakan Fellowship, and then it might be another one, but actually the idea of the research will come through the many university right here, and then we plan to go to Turkey. We invite friend of us in November, hopefully, and then it might be a good one that we can sit down face-to-face meeting there. But to start this cooperation and collaborations, we have opportunity to employ Zoom applications, and then we don't need to travel a long way since we have, if we take a flight from Jakarta to Turkey, to Istanbul through Turkish Airlines, so it might be a direct one. But if we are going there through Doha, through Abu Dhabi, Dubai, it might be there is another transit of us. So this is a good opportunity for us to start and going for collaborations, and hopefully after this one I would like to have the advice from Prof. Onder actually about when we can have another meeting with a friend of us from UK, and another one I would like to invite Prof. Yusuf Sahin. He is a colleague from Necmettin Erbakan University, in the same university, Prof. Onder, and Prof. Onder introduced me to Prof. Yusuf, and this is another one that his expertise in international relations. So actually, the idea of what is the topic that we can move forward or going forward is depend to the pick up decisions from the university. Thank you, Pak Zul.
Okay, that is the closing statement from Professor Dr. Ismail Swadioke as the head of Indonesian University Consortium on Social-Religious Studies. And I will say thanks to the Professor Dr. Onder Kutlu. Thank you so much, Prof, for this nice Zoom meeting. And I would like to say thanks to Mr. Arif Sadiman and Mr. Jelang Ramadan, and to Mr. Ismawan Arif. Thank you for this nice idea sharing together. As the conclusion that this is highly important for us for strengthening the research and networking together. This is not the end of the discussion, but this is the beginning of the discussion, and it's time to make a collab. And I'd like to say thanks to the speaker for the informative and interesting presentation, and all of the participants. Thanks for this active participation. And the last I said, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Prof. Onder. Thank you, Jelang, Bang Mau, and Mas Arif, everyone. Yeah.
Terima kasih, Prof. Thank you.
Good evening.
Hajam.
Professor.
Hajam, Guru